Our service doesn't end after we leave the military. The mission changes, but we still find the need to be of service. What's yours? Listen in as we talk to our guests about their military careers and life after the uniform in their second service. This podcast is sponsored by Fortis et Fidelis, a brand dedicated to honoring the brave and faithful. Make sure to check out fortis-fidelis.com and support the podcast by subscribing to the show and leaving us a 5-star review on all the podcast platforms. Now, let's get to the show. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Brave and Faithful podcast. I'm your host, Ray Dionisio, and today I have a Navy veteran. She's a Navy veteran. She's also a content creator, and she is the host of Vet Chats, where she goes live on Instagram talking to other veterans. I have the Millennial veteran, Jenna Carlton. How are you doing, Jenna?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I appreciate you for taking the time here. I mentioned you're a Navy veteran. Can you tell our audience a little bit about your service in the Navy?
I would love to. So I was in the Navy from 2013 to 17. I was a weather guesser, also known as an aerographer's mate. And so we're actually not stationed on ships. I was able to go to a few different ships. So I was on an aircraft carrier, I was on an LHD, and I was on a hospital ship. So I kind of got to experience a lot during that 4 years, and it was a lot of fun.
So you mentioned a hospital ship. So I'm a corpsman. What hospital ship do you serve under?
I was on the Comfort. I was on there for about 10 days, and we were supposed to go to Haiti for a hurricane relief when that big hurricane hit. I think it was 2016. And we ended up coming back because they didn't need our help as much as we thought they would.
Okay. And so you served from 13 to 17, did one enlistment. Talk to us a little bit about, we talk a lot about transition and, how some veterans have had difficulties with that. How was yours? How was your transition?
Transition out of service, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of unexpected. I had such hopes for when I got out, and I was like, the world is mine. I'm going to go to college, study whatever I want. I thought I was going to just continue kind of like my upbeat personality I had while I was in the Navy. But when I got out, I just really kind of lost my sense of self without the Navy. I didn't realize how much of a impact that had on my identity as a person. I forgot even how to dress. Like, what do I like to wear? How do I like to do my hair? Stuff like that was kind of hard for me. And also I felt isolated away from my friends that were still in, and then not being able to relate to people around me. And I was also in a new state where I didn't really know anyone. So yeah, I was kind of lonely.
Okay. And then, looking at your profile, you're married, right? Were you married once you left, or did you get married after?
Yeah, I got married after, and I was also pregnant, I think like a month after I got out. So I was kind of really trying to figure out who I was as a mom, who I was as a civilian, really, and a college student. And I think this is kind of a universal experience. When you get out, you feel kind of different. What's your purpose? You're not the 18-year-old kid who signed up for to serve. So you really got to try to find yourself, and you got to try new things, because you're not going to like all the same things that you did 4 years ago. I mean, even 20 years ago, before you served.
So Jenna, from your experience, and maybe there's some people that are listening in, they're in their first enlistment, they get out, they might have had the similar experience you had, maybe getting married, having family, and then also going to school. What are some of your advice for those vets out there that are going through that?
I would say take advantage of if you have time to, try different classes, stuff that you weren't interested in before. Definitely try new things. Don't just commit to one major. Also, a big thing for me was using just kind of treating my college as a full-time job if you can. I know not everyone is able to live off of their savings or what the GI Bill is paying, but if you can, just treat it like a job and really um, hang out in the library, work from like a set time period, and then go home because you're going to have so many distractions at home, especially if you have kids.
Right, right. So how do you find? Yeah, I mean, I got like two girls, both under three. How do you find time to study?
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, my daughter. So the first year I was pregnant, and then I had 1 year old for the second year. She was 2 when I graduated, so I could not study with her. I had to stay at the library. I hung out there all the time, or even in between classes, I would just go to the library and try to get as much done as I could because I've tried to like just lock myself in my bedroom, and she would just be banging at the door and
Yeah.
trying to get in. You know how it is.
Yeah, I feel your pain there. It's just like once you get home, it's like you can't really hardly do any work if that's what you're
No,
trying to do.
you really can't. And you can get so distracted with, laundry or dishes or whatever needs to be done.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, so I mentioned the millennial veteran. What? How did you come up with this? I guess. How did you coin up with that term, millennial veteran?
So I was in my garage one day having a few beers. And I was just thinking about how we were part of the local legion here. And
Hmm.
I was like, me and my husband were like, we're the only millennials here. We're younger by like a whole generation. So I was like, where are the millennial veterans at? And I just kind of decided to make this Facebook group called the Millennial Veterans for fun and invite my friends, people I knew who were getting out, people I knew who got out, and just try to connect us all because I did do an internship at the House Committee on Veterans Affairs and I learned a lot. Like I knew a lot about benefits. I knew what people could have access to. So I just kind of wanted to share that knowledge, and then it kind of just started snowballing and growing into so much more.
Awesome. So, how long have you had the Facebook and the community going?
So we started, and when I say we, it's me, my friend Missy, who got out, and then my friend Angela, who's still serving. She's actually in Bahrain right now. But it was since September 2020 is when it started. And today, actually, we hit 900. So
Awesome.
grown a lot.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
So, for those who might be interested in being part of that community, what are some of the things that they can kind of expect from the group?
It's a lot of sharing of resources. It's a lot of trying to job match, posting jobs. It's a lot of just like camaraderie, funny stuff, lighthearted, military humor. And yeah, a lot of people who post questions. There's always someone who's willing to help or lead them in the right direction. So it's a very safe place to really ask questions without any embarrassment or shame, really.
So on top of the community, the millennial veteran community, I've noticed as well, like on Instagram, you've been doing a lot of these Instagram lives, right? What you call vet chats. How
Yeah.
did where did the idea of creating that vet chats come from?
So after the group started forming, it was like 2 or 3 months, and people were doing introductions at first, like introducing themselves to the group and then saying what they were doing. And I was like, wow, there's so many young veterans, like people even 35 under, 40 under, that are doing some incredible things. And I just really wanted to share what they were doing. Some of them were starting nonprofits, writing books, just really continuing to serve. They're doing their second service, like you say. So
Right.
I just wanted to share and give them a place where they could talk about it and give other younger veterans a place to hear and know that there's other people like them out there.
Are there Are there like any specific stories that kind of stick out since you've created or started doing the vet chats that you can kind of share with the audience?
Yeah, there's a lot of stories, kind of like harder to hear stories, of people having bad experiences, especially with VA hospitals.
Mm,
We had an Army veteran who was on, he was battling with the VA. They put him in like the psych ward and all that. That one always sticks out to me. And there's another one, just a lot of stories of hardship, but then those stories always end with this silver lining, or just how much they have overcome, really.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And then tell us our audience again, how long have you started doing the vet chats?
I think I started that 2 months after the group started, so November 2020. And I haven't been consistent, not every Sunday, but every Sunday that I can. Or how do you feel? Do you ever get like burnout from doing podcasts?
Uh, so what I do is, so I have the I use Calendly, and I kind of like schedule um, to the days and times where I'm available. I mean, there's times where it's like, "Ugh, I don't want to I don't want to do this,"
Yeah.
but you also kind of have made that commitment, right? It's like,
Hmm.
we did have this on schedule, and sometimes guests, they kind of fall out, and they have last minute things going on, like myself.
Hmm.
Life happens, right? Um,
Yes, exactly.
but I think, with anything, it's just, uh, it's not a matter of like just starting, or it's how you finish it, and also like just being consistent with whatever you're doing, right? That's the key thing. It's like, with anything, it just takes practice, and the more you're consistent with it, the more you get better with it, and it kind of takes off from there.
That's so true. Consistency is key. I feel like
Yeah.
we can also get discouraged if like a episode flops, or in my case, like a post doesn't do as well as I envisioned it. So you kind of get discouraged, but that's just telling you like what your audience likes or what they don't like. So I do take breaks from vet chats. I just took like a month break. So but
Yeah.
I need to be more consistent.
Well, I mean that's important too, right? Like, if you feel like, sometimes the most important thing is your health. That's mental and your
Mhm.
physical health. So, it's on you to decide if whether you need to take a break, or push through or whatnot. That's the most important thing, is making sure you take care of yourself first. That way you can continue to do, what it is that you want to do. So
Absolutely. And I think it's just the idea of things that get in your head, because there's never a time where I've walked away from doing an IG live or something where I felt like drained. I always leave it feeling good and energized, and just, really inspired by the veterans that come on.
yeah, like, doing podcasts as well, like just hearing some of the stories that my guests, the stories that they share. It's like, oh man, like, if he or she went through this, it's like it motivates me, and also like inspires me more to kind of just continue to, share other people's stories, and continue to try to stay consistent, right? With what I'm doing.
Yes, it's a great reminder of knowing that what you're doing is impactful, and it's really helping people connect. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you never know who's listening in, right, on your vet chats, and you never know what impact you're making.
Yes, that's so true. That is very true.
So, to follow on with that, what would you say has been kind of what would you say has been kind of like the best moment or experience you've had since you started vet chats, or maybe even the millennial veteran community?
I just love all the people I get to meet and talk to. So where I'm in Maryland, and I'm from Wisconsin, and it's kind of a different culture here in the South. Wisconsin's very friendly. Um, Also like all my family's there. So I have this sense of family when I'm there. And
Mm-hmm.
here, I just don't have that here yet. I know someday I might. But online, like in our coalition group, it's just so awesome to have this community of people, and it's just so uplifting, and everyone's so encouraging. I've had one bad interaction with someone, another veteran.
In the group?
No, she was on my Instagram. She followed me, and she was very anti-war, which is okay because a lot of veterans are anti-war. But also, she was kind of just very attacking me, kind of vulgar about uh, just like even my kids. Like, if I raise my daughters to be in the military one day, I'm like signing them up to be like just really graphic. I don't even want to say what she was saying, but
Right.
yeah, that's the only time it's been bad. But besides that, everyone's just so nice and encouraging, and just wanting to help veterans. Everyone's very genuine as well, I would say.
Want to support an active duty owned brand? Head over to fortis-fidelis.com. Again, that's fortis-fidelis.com, and help us in honoring the brave and faithful service of our nation's defenders. All proceeds will help us create and provide memorial coins to the families of our fallen service members. Again, that's fortis-fidelis.com, and help Fortis et Fidelis in honoring the brave and faithful. Yeah, I feel like, the more you put yourself out there, the more people are going to try to, attack your character or just attack what you're doing, right? It's just, we all have our opinions, it's a matter of like, if you know what you're doing is, it's what you're doing and you believe in it, and you're in the right, or whatnot. Like, really, this doesn't really matter what other people think. It's a matter of what your loved ones think of you, and things like that.
Yes. And almost when I was trying to think of the quote, because I know you asked for a quote, I was almost gonna. My second runner up was if you want to do anything success. What was it? It was like if you want to do anything successful, you're not gonna avoid pissing people off. Basically,
Yeah.
so
That's gonna happen for sure.
yeah, that means you're doing something right.
Yeah. You can't please everybody. You can't have everybody like you. There's got to be some people there against you as well. So
Are you a people pleaser?
I try to be at a point, right? But I think in the beginning, maybe I think I was more, but the more I've continued, do the podcast and kind of just put myself out there, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're like, this is what I want to create. This is the content I want to talk about. Take it or leave it, right?
Yeah, it's like anything, right? Like, if you're watching TV, what do you do if you don't like what you're watching? You just change the channel.
That's true. That's very true.
So Jenna, to give our audience, what's one actionable step that they can kind of take in pursuit of, that second service?
I say don't overthink it. If there is something you want to pursue, if there's some sort of initiative you want to take part in, just do it. Start messy, start unprepared, just start. Really, life is short when we really think about it. And you're going to look back 5 years ago, like time's going to pass no matter what. So you might as well just start and say, well, I did this. I've been doing this for this long. So I would say just go for it, and just don't be afraid to reach out, especially to people online. You just have to type something. Sometimes they're busy, they won't reply, but you just put yourself out there.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's just, I think that's the most important thing is just starting, right? I like what you said, start messy, start unprepared, because nobody really starts anything like they they're not all prepared when they start anything, right? There's always going to be like doubts and questions and things that we don't know. but
Yeah, exactly.
you kind of
And
figure it along the way.
and that's going to be part of your story. Like, how cool is it? I know probably when you first started, you have people that followed you since then, and now they see how far you've come. And that's cool to see. That's inspiring to see.
Yeah, that's kind of like the journey, right? The beautiful journey that you kind of go
Mm-hmm.
through. So
Yes.
awesome. Um, all right. So Jenna, what's one thing you want our listeners and our viewers to take away from this episode?
I'd love for them to take away, especially if you're veterans or if you're thinking of getting out. Just know that there is that time period that we all go through. It is such a universal experience to feel isolated, to feel unsure of yourself, and to also not even identify as a veteran. That also takes some time because you're just know you're not in the military. You're like, what's a veteran? That's an old Vietnam War veteran. That's what kind of like we picture, or someone in
Mm.
Hollywood, how they portray veterans. And just know that you can take that on. You can own that, especially if you're younger, if you're a female. We need you to represent out there, because there's a community there that you can tap into. And just saying you're a veteran is going to open up so many doors. And also, there's so many benefits that you can take part in. So yeah, just really try to tap into that whole network.
Jenna, what do you think is, talking about like the millennial veterans? What do you think is their number one issue when they leave the service?
I think the issue is lack of community, almost isolating yourself. Just not It's not our nature to go down to the local Legion or the VFW and feel like you're gonna fit in. A lot of people are also introverted. That's not their style of communication. They're more likely to go online and talk to people. So just know that you have benefits that you can take advantage of, and know that it's a pot of money that these benefits come from. That's unlimited spending. You're not taking anyone's place when you go to the VA and ask for help.
Yeah, I think that's a great point that you bring up. You mentioned isolating themselves and kind of the lack of that community that they feel like they belong.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the millennials, right? What do we do? We try to tend to kind of look online or search the websites and kind of go on our own to kind of just try to figure things out, right? When
Mm-hmm.
there's organizations and there's nonprofits, there's people out there that you know that can support you. So
Yes. Yeah. There's so many nonprofits and so many ways to get help. You just got to tap into it. Millennials are also so resourceful,
yeah,
and they also love to research things. They're not even going to go to a restaurant without reading the Yelp reviews. So I just think that that's something that they could turn to and use like their benefits.
yeah, and also make sure you guys go to the millennial veteran Facebook group, right? And you
Yes.
go join and learn more about all the resources out there for y'all.
And just come introduce yourself and meet a friend or two.
Awesome, Jenna. So, Jenna, going to the second segment of the podcast here. So, again, this is what I call the Fast Five. These are the same five questions I ask all my guests. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Awesome. So, first question: what's one hobby you enjoy?
I should have said always ready.
Always ready.
So
All
I
right.
love I love to crochet. I've been
Crochet.
really into it. I'm making hats, I'm making stuffed animals, I'm making clothes. It's just something you can be really creative with. And I noticed that when I sit down at night, like our family were watching TV or just, winding down, I would be on my phone, and I wanted to start just putting my phone like on my desk for the night. And so I like just wanted something to do with my hands. So I was like, well, I'm gonna start crocheting, and it helped me like connecting with the conversation, but still, keep my hands busy.
Crocheting. Okay. And making
Yeah,
a lot of things for like the kid and the husband or
yeah, I have like so many people that want gifts, or I've made a lot of things. Have you ever done it or seen it done?
I have not. I have not seen it done. I haven't even tried. I have to check it out.
Yes, yeah, I'll send you some pictures.
uh, second question, Jenna. If you had to choose one person to hang out with for one day, who would it be and why?
I thought about this for a while because I'm like, nobody's gonna know who this person is, but honestly, I think she's the coolest person in the in history, maybe. But Kesha,
History.
do you know who
Kesh.
Kesha is?
Is she a singer?
Yes.
I think my wife knows who she. I don't know. I don't know any songs from her.
I have been obsessed with her probably since I was 16. You know, she sings this song called TikTok. That was like her big thing, but she goes so much deeper. She's actually she has like a perfect IQ score. She's super smart and she's just super she's into a lot of like ghost hunting and paranormal stuff. So I just think she would be so much fun to hang out with and really tap into her knowledge and just hang out with her. And she also gets tattoos with her fans. So I would love to get a matching tattoo with her.
Like she gets matching tattoos with fans, or
Yes.
oh wow,
Yeah. Yeah, she's got a
hardcore,
bunch. Yeah, I think that'd
hardcore
be
fans
so
out
fun.
there.
I would do it.
Um, next question. Recommend a book for our audience to read.
So this kind of goes on off of me saying to try something new. And my dad gave me this book. It's called Pillars of the Earth. It's very like maybe 11th, 12th century it's set in. Have you ever heard of it?
I don't think so.
And it's like 1,000-page book. And I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to read it like this. I'm not into this type of stuff. You know, I like,
Is it like sci-fi stuff? Or?
no, it's not sci-fi. It's just kind of like medieval history. It's kind of actually political
Okay.
about like the church back in the day, how they held so much power, and there was a lot of corrupt priests and bishops. So I just didn't think I'd be into it, and it's honestly my favorite book. I have like daydreams about me living in this era of like medieval history, and it's loosely based off of a true story. So I would recommend it because it changed my life, and it's a great book.
And that's Pillars of the Earth book.
Yes.
Okay. Next question. What's your favorite quote and why?
So I really like this quote. It's called "The Fears We Don't Face Become Our Limits," and that's by Robin Sharma. And it's so true because and don't think of fear as like your fear of heights, your fear of whatever. Maybe it's your fear of looking at yourself, looking at your past self,
Mm.
looking at something that happened to you and you just don't even want to go there. But that also can become your limit of letting go, or even say like a relationship ended bad and you don't even want to think about it. You're like have a fear of it, but you can't really move on until you mend that in your heart. So I just think that's something that can be applied to so many different areas of our life.
Yeah, I think it's also kind of just saying like, you know, how sometimes we're kind of our own worst enemy.
Yes.
You know, we kind of set limits to ourselves when, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we could always do more and we could always be better. So
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you guys my current fear right now, and I got a pair of roller skates, like the ones with the four wheels, the old school skates.
yeah,
I got one for Mother's Day, and let me tell you, I am so scared. I will go up and down the driveway once, and then I'm like, okay, I need a break because I'm so scared of falling. So that's my limit right now, and I'm gonna face it this summer. Just wait.
roller skates. I would it's been a while since the years when I was a kid,
Did
and
you used to go to the rink?
I was not good at roller skating. Let me just say that.
You can always
Yeah,
get better. So
I don't know if I'll ever go back to that though.
take the girls; they'll love it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I'll have to take him on that.
Yes.
Um, all right. So next question, Jenna. Where do you see yourself in 5 years or even 10 years from now?
So 5 years, I picture myself maybe spending more time outdoors because I feel like that helps my mental health and just kind of grounds me. Also, like spending time with my family and also kind of building this millennial veteran community. My dream is to have an in-person event or just some meeting place. It doesn't even have to be event, just maybe like a campground. Like we could just plan a weekend just to meet all these
Mm.
people or even people in the coalition. I'd love to meet everyone in person. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, you mentioned the coalition stuff for our audience members listening or listening in. So, we have a coalition of influencers, podcasters, and hosts. We kind of created a while back, and it's been a while since we've done like a kind of virtual get together. We need to do that.
That was so fun.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely we one of these days we need to do an actual in person meet up somewhere and make it like a trip or something.
Yeah, we could meet in the middle, because I know a lot of people are West Coast, some people are East Coast. So we could
Yeah.
do like maybe Kansas or whatever's in the middle, Missouri,
Somewhere in the Midwest.
somewhere random, and we'll just take over.
Yeah, that is true. We're pretty much everywhere. We even got like a Canadian on the coalition.
Yeah, the North Coast.
Yeah. Awesome. So, Jenna, man, I appreciate you for taking the time and sharing a little bit about your story and talking to us a little bit about, the millennial veterans out there. And, where can our audience, where can they find out more information about you?
So IG, really simple, the millennial veteran. Millennial spelled with two N's because I spelled that wrong, and I even had a bunch of like graphics with millennial spelled wrong when I first started out. That's just your journey, it's all about progress. But yeah, millennial veteran, and then the Facebook group is called the Millennial Veterans, and that should come up.
Awesome. Make sure you guys check that out, and make sure you go check out Jenna on IG Live during her vet chats. Again, that's the millennial veteran with two N's.
Yes.
Check her out on IG and on the Facebook community. Jenna, again, I appreciate the time, and hopefully I'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This was great.
Awesome. Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey everyone, Raiden here. I just want to thank you for listening to our podcast. And make sure you guys go check out our website, fortis-fidelis.com. Again, that's fortis-fidelis.com, and learn how you can help us support in providing these memorial coins to the families of the fallen. And make sure you guys go follow our social media on Facebook, FRTS FDLS. Again, that's FRTS FDLS. And on Instagram and Twitter at FRTS_FDLS. Again, that's FRTS_FDLS. And make sure you guys go subscribe, review, and leave a comment on our podcast on all the podcast platforms. Till then, take care.